Hi, this is Stewart Munro. Welcome to a new series I'm doing called Behind the Lens. The first one that we did was called Behind the Shoot, but with the new crazy intros that I've got to put on the videos to make them look a bit more tidier, I originally called it Behind the Lens. So anyway, from now on it'll be called Behind the Lens. Anyway, this shoot, it was a interesting one because I wanted to do a shoot. No, I got a phone call from Alex Mancher, who was, which you can see in this picture here, is putting, he was doing some sign writing, doing a logo for this Mexican restaurant, which is just around the corner from where I live, and it's next to the big sex shop on the corner there. And I just wanted to get a couple of different shots and hang out with Alex while, he was working, and I got some really nice shots of him, like this one. That is not Alex there. And then this shot here where he's just filling in he'd finished the outline and was just started painting. But anyway, I noticed with my first year of living in the Fortitude Valley, there was this guy that cruises around and he's got a mullet and he's always combing his hair everywhere he walks. And I noticed one day I walked past him when I was on crutches and he said hello to me, he said hello back, and then there used to be a cab rank at the end of my street, and he would talk to all the cab drivers and have a good chat to them, and I listened to him one day and, he asked me about my leg and all that sort of stuff. But anyway, I told Alex about him before, but anyway, we found out his name was Paul, and he walked around the corner, and I told Alex, I said, this is the guy I was telling you about that's always combing his hair. And anyway, he's pulled up and looked at the work that Alex has done and said it was really good and, loved the colours and the line work and all this sort of stuff. And I just said to him straight out, I said, is there a chance I could shoot your portrait? And he was like, yeah, okay, let's do it. So anyway, this is the first shot I took of him. I shot at 1.4 on my 85mm Viltrox lens, and I shoot with a Sony A7R4, and this is photos raw, just straight out of camera. And while we were talking, I said, I noticed he had his comb, and I said, is there any way you could comb your hair? And he's like, yeah, I can do that for you. And so he's pulled the comb out, and I just fired off a sequence of photos of him. Like, there he is combing his hair, and great, it just was great. Like, this is exactly, sort of characters I like to shoot. Old men with beards, or just his hairstyle's just brilliant, straight out of the 80s. And there he is, still combing. But you just don't get to shoot these sort of people very often, without walking up and asking people to shoot their photos. I don't like doing that sort of stuff. I quite like that one. Anyway, so he's gone and, told us what he was, going to do some shopping or something like that. Anyway, he's walked off. Alex and I just looked at each other, and Alex was in tears, and we just laughed that we had the opportunity to have a chat to him. And after telling Alex about the guy, I, couldn't believe I actually got to take his photos. But anyway, these are some of the, the final ones. The focus is, I'm really happy with the focus is pretty much spot on. And just, I love the fall off on his scalp, and how his beautiful haircut just fades away into the background. And I would have been happy with that, but getting the combing, that was a bit closer. But yeah, overall, I'm really happy with how these photos look. And the fact how friendly he was great as well. That's a great one. Combing the mullet underneath there. That's a good one. I've got that one actually on my website. I've got a black and white version of that as well. There is just the concentration with combing the mane is just amazing. His sideburns look great too. That's another good one. But, at the end of the day, I was really happy with how the photos come out. Alex was, who helps me out on a lot of shoots these days. You never know what you're going to get in interaction of dealing with the person. That made my week, hearing his story and stuff like that. And anyway, I still see him around the valley now. He always says hello to me and stuff like that. But anyway, hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you've got any questions, just write a comment below. If you could like and subscribe to the channel, that would help out a lot. And we're going to be putting a lot more content up in the new year. Anyway, yeah, hopefully you enjoyed the photos as well. And if you didn't like them, let me know. And if you did, let me know which photo you like the best. And yeah, I'll see you in the new year. Thanks.